Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to A House of Many Doors, where today we are going hunting. Possibly priest hunting, definitely vampire hunting. This is probably going to involve some combat, and hopefully we're ready for that. Our train seems relatively powerful, right? So we want to go out to the west, right? Oh, I guess we need to go to Ghoulwatch too. I didn't even realize Ghoulwatch was out here. Okay, yeah. West it is, and hopefully we'll just run into the vampire. We don't really know what we're looking for in this area. I'm assuming that it won't look like a giant Dracula, right? It's probably going to be a train that has a vampire on it. Hopefully we'll get some kind of notification when we're close. You know, honestly, maybe we should have bought a little bit of fuel. Oh well, whatever. Alright, fingers crossed we encounter a couple of wells. I could really use a little bit more bottled darkness. Do you guys have anything interesting? We got a lurid tale for our news from the city. That's probably not actually worth the trade. Whatever, it's fine. I really like this piece of music in particular. I think the music in the game in general is quite good. I do wish that there was a little bit more of it. But this piece in particular, I think, is both really good, and it's also very evocative of the tone of the game. I'm having a little bit of a complicated time with the game, a little bit of a complicated relationship with it. I think that it definitely feels I'm trying to approach this with maximum fairness and be very careful in my speech, if you can't tell. It does feel a little bit less... Okay, so we want to start going south here. It does feel a little bit less than Sunless Skies. But I don't think it's bad or anything. It's just... This is a... Let's smash this. Gain some sanity, got some divine scrutiny. I think it feels rougher around the edges with stuff like the combat, like that weird issue where if you click on a cannon more than once during a combat turn, it just like burns multiple actions. And then the combat as a whole kind of feeling like there's a lot to it. You have a lot of options in combat, but it doesn't feel like it's it doesn't feel tight. You know what I mean? It feels like it hasn't been particularly well balanced out or anything. It's just like a lot of it feels like an early draft, mechanically speaking. Just the combat system I'm talking about here. Hold on, we're gonna veer off path to go and visit Vex. Is that person trying to meet with me? They are indeed. Piracy enthusiasts, you know, not pirates. Well, obviously I'm not interested in fighting. They want to fight. Well, you know what? We're going to initiate combat. We're going to try to get up on them and see if we can't board. So we couldn't board last time. Oh, they only have one gunner. This might actually be very doable. Let's shoot the hell out of your gun. We'll just do this thing. Give them absolutely everything. Hopefully we can wipe out the gun in this first volley. Alright, so we'll give the gun a blast from the mortar and like also the fungus cannon. And then we'll just close distance. You know, I'm not actually clear on whether our improved scuttlers are making us better at the distance change maneuvers. It seems intuitive that they would do that, right? Why was I thinking that a boarding button up here? Do I just click on my guards and have them... Okay, you click on a guard and then the boarding button shows up. So I don't think I want to do this right now. They have 3 guards. I think I want to send over more of my guards all at once. Although I guess if I click board... No, they just go. Okay, we're going to send Ashen and one of the guards over now. I was considering waiting until next turn and then sending over 4 guards at once. Okay, they didn't make any attempt to do anything about us boarding. Like, they didn't move near us or anything. So now we have 3 guards on the ship. Let's have all 3 of them go fight the guard captain. Can I do that? Will the presence of their guards stop my guard from... Nope. Looks like you can just kind of go wherever you want. Alright, well, have at him. Okay, we had at him in a fairly serious way, it looks like. So, yeah, this is a great example of what I was talking about, where it kind of seems like the AI maybe just doesn't respond to this strategy. Feels like they ought to do something, don't you think? We have another guard somewhere, right? Are you a guard? Yeah, you're a guard. Okay, well, we've basically won. Yeah, you get on board their ship and you can just do whatever you want, it looks like. They don't make any real attempt to interact with you. Alright, I think 2 people ought to be enough to finish off that job there. I should have 1 more guard. Yeah, there we go. And then you can come up here. Okay, so I think this is gonna be us killing the rest of their crew, and then we just win, presumably. Yeah, weird. They really don't they really don't fight back at all. I was really expecting, like, once we were on their ship for them to spend some of their actions moving around, but it seems like maybe if they don't have guns, they just don't do anything at all. The ship hangs in the air, empty and ripe for salvage. We took very little damage over the course of that. Tear it apart. Take everything there is. The enemy's vehicle is silent, utterly emptied of life. There are signs everywhere of the former occupants. Half-eaten meals, half-written diaries, a card game that never concluded. The enemy crew had erected some kind of shrine around a figure of a mad, eyeless god. You also find a chalk circle, a slaughtered animal, and a book of spells. So we gain a bizarre effigy and an arcane codex and a war story. Honestly, I don't know if that was worth, like, even the relatively small cost. But that was a good time for that to happen. It was really, really a good example of what I'm talking about, where, like, that just felt unfinished, right? Why would the enemy crew just not react? They just let you land and then let you gang up all of your guards on them and take them one by one? I don't know, man. And I get that this had a smaller team, and I'm sure there are just fewer man-hours in this thing, of necessity. But it's a bummer still. But my point in saying, what I was starting to say there is, but I'm still having a good time, and then I got sidetracked, because I tend to get sidetracked about the negatives of a thing, which is why I try to speak carefully, because otherwise it can come across that I'm having less fun than I am. A pillar of charred flesh that was once a god looms on the horizon. Gouts of smoke hiss from its bleeding seams. The shuffling crowd on the beach are gray-faced addicts, drowning their minds in godsmoke. Is this where Godsmoke is from? I guess so. Yeah, sure. Let's gather it. A single breath of Godsmoke can send a man into religious rapture for weeks. Ooh, we got two vials for free. Easy. The crowd silently part for you and shuffle back in place behind. They are so tightly packed together that the long-starved dead are standing with the living. You tighten the straps of your gas mask nervously and get to work coaxing the smoke into your bottles. No problems this time, thankfully. And then we hurry back. Gray tendrils of smoke curl around your feet, as though to pull you out to sea. And that's it, right there. Yeah, that's the only thing to do here. Is there anything for sale? Nope. Okay. This is just a place where you can come to periodically get some free Godsmoke. I mean, it's a cool vista. It was worth stopping for the art. Alright. Down to Vampire Town. Go on down to Vampire Town. I guess let's head east once, and then we'll south a bit. We should probably attempt that boarding strategy a couple more times. Like, it's clear that you get more loot, right? There was text specifically about being able to loot the ship because we took it intact. Boy, I sure am getting this message about invisible eyes watching us from a secret perch a lot. That's making me a little nervous. But yeah, so like, it's clear that they want to reward you for killing the enemy crew without destroying the enemy ship. So I guess we'll just look for opportunities to do that a couple more times and see if we encounter anything more valuable. Granted, it's going to be a lot less cash efficient anytime we run into an enemy that has more than one cannon. Okay, we found him. The Scorpiopede races toward you, parting darkness like a shark. Your radio hisses and crackles, and piercing laughter shrieks from it. Surrender, sleeping ones. I am Vampire. I am awoken. I am the shape in darkness that justifies your fear of the night. I am... A blood-drunk junkie, finishes Genevieve, grabbing the radio. Come on, Quentin. We're not some plump merchants quaking in terror. We were sent by the Abstemi. There is a long pause. Then the Scorpiopede starts scuttling very fast in the other direction. We'll obviously chase him. The Scorpiopede is battered and cratered, one leg missing. Quentin has been out here for a long time, and his luck is running out. You herd him into a corner. Trapped, the Scorpiopede turns to face you, aiming the gun on its tail. Hide amongst the sheep if you like, Abstemi scum, squawks the radio. But some of us remember what it means to be a wolf. Praise the old ways. Praise Lord Dracul. But are the vampires just from Earth? Is that the world that the vampire people came from? Alright, let's mess this dude up. If he really only has one gun, okay. The gun on the tail. We were misled. Do we want to just rush him and try to deal with the guns by killing the gunners? So we could get on board. We have 184 hull. Yeah, I think I'm going to try. Let's see if that's a reasonable strategy. The game probably autosaved when we left Vex, so we don't have a lot to lose. Let's just... Boy, just close up feels pretty scary, though. I think it's right. We're gonna try to just get real close. How close do we have to be? Okay, only this close. So I think we have Ash and the healthiest other guard aboard right now. Let's make this a high priority. We could have Ashen move for one of the gunners. Actually, I'm gonna do that. Let's have Ashen have at this dude, and then we'll worry about getting other people aboard later. We can have Ashen start doing some real damage here. Although it looks like it didn't happen. Maybe your guards can't deal damage the turn they board. That would not be a crazy way to implement that, right? I could see that being a reasonable play. And then we'll have you're at full health. Jasper, get over there. Jasper can get started on the other gunner. I don't think it should take 3 of us to take one down. Yeah, okay. I'm not 100% clear on whether Ashen actually does more damage than the other people. But I would assume she does, right? She's the guard captain. She's the good guard. So we're gonna have you run to a place where the other gunner is the only person in range, and then we're probably gonna have to close before anybody else can board. Yeah, we might even have to close twice. They really pulled back. Nope, we're good. So it's probably within 100 meters is boarding range. That'd be my guess. All right, they got no guns left, so now it's just a matter of one by one picking off every member of their crew, which, again, it feels like they should fight back or something. Let's do this. We'll go 2v1 a couple of times and see how this works out. Okay, so Ashen 100% for certain does more damage than the other guards do then. Let's put Ashen on this duty, pull you over here, pull one of you guys over to here, and this guy will leave in place to finish killing that guard. And then, I don't really know what else we want to do. I guess advance? Oh, we do have one guard who wasn't on the train yet. That's got to be a priority. Oh, we didn't quite get the kill. Alright, you and you go kill that engineer. You can go start on this, and where's my other guard? You. Oliver Watt. I don't even know if he's going to be able to do anything. The battle may be over by the time he actually arrives. In fact, the battle is over. We're going to see very limited use of Oliver Watt. Okay. Your last missile hits something vital, and the Scorpiopede balloons and explodes in a molten hot shower of shards. All that's left is a shattered, burning wreck. But to Genevieve's obvious surprise, your radio hisses back to life. Lord Dracul is coming, snarls Quentin. He is barely audible over the roaring flames. He will remind us of the true ways. Mark my... And then the radio dies again, presumably along with Quentin himself. A meaningless folktale, Genevieve tells you. Her brows are knitted together. A fable for the intemperate. Pay it no mind. Alright, we got ourselves a bleak fable, you know, the ones for the intemperate. And we live to fight again. Anything to salvage? In the shell of Quentin's Scorpiopede, you recover a cache of 90 guineas, a strange little rune-carved box, and heaps of nibbled bones. He needed to die, says Genevieve. Let's head back to the Scars of Sheng, so I can report this. I am curious about this dubious trinket, but okay. Back to the Scars of Sheng. That is a distant concern. For now, let's go south a couple more times. I'm not interested in getting into any fights with only 114 hull remaining. Go south a couple and then west to Ghoulwatch. And who knows, maybe there will be something real cool and fun to do in Ghoulwatch. I see no reason to assume that Ghoulwatch is not the life of the party. Or the unlife of the party. Are we in the right... Yeah, we're in the right row now. So yeah, that seems like a fairly effective strategy. You can bring down the gunners pretty quickly, and it seems more reliable. I mean, we haven't done it enough times, I guess, to actually be certain, but it seems more reliable than actually firing guns, which does mean that it seems like maybe we spent a lot of money on guns that we didn't need to. Okay, apparently we were about to crash into Twinflower Rust. Oh, it's an adorable little mushroom village. I wonder if the Smurfs live here. The little Mycenae village smells of stale grain and old bruised fruit. Suspicious eyes glimmer from the hollows of fungoid cottages. They don't trust city folk here. Not after the stories they've heard. No, that's fair. I can see why that would be the case. Let's visit their elder. It seems like they're excited to have us, in contradiction to the text here. The elder welcomes you. The villagers have gathered in a great crowd to sit around the fire and listen to the elder tell old Mycenae legends. It's an old story, you can tell. The elder slips into an archaic dialect as it recites the words. It's a story from after the War of the Gods, when the human civilizations were in disarray. It's a story of how Mycenae ruled the house from Chaga, extending help and patronage to the struggling humans, and how they were betrayed. Do we know where Chaga is? I think that's new to me. Well, it's a fascinating evening. We've learned some stuff about the Mycenae. Let's see if they want to hear about Anglecrab. You ask the crowd, etc., circles. The Mycenae villagers listen to you with obvious disinterest. They begin to drift away before you finish talking. It was worth a shot. Do they? No, they don't want to sell us anything. Well then, I guess let's go. Hold on, are we... Okay, we're at 54. I had, when we flipped through here too quickly, I had misread that as 94, and I was like, really? Have we really picked up that much garbage? Alright, further west we go. And there's a lot of, little things. I don't want to be too negative, but there's a lot of little things that make it feel like there's a little bit of polish missing. And one good example is that thing that just happened right there, where sometimes there's no text on the buttons indicating the directions you can leave from. It's just like, why? Why is there text most of the time, but not all of the time? In particular, when you're out here in the weirder places further from the cities, you could put some really interesting stuff in there about, just describing what that area looks like from sort of the doorway of the city, from the entryway. Because I really like it when we get little bits of text that are like, there's some kind of massive monster crouched at the edge of the mushroom forest, you know? Got ourselves some blinding hooch. This is a very dramatic track. I guess we're getting closer to the spooky part of the house, and so we get the full-on vampire music. I was trying to... A Ghoul Patrol. Well, I'm not trying to talk to you guys. I'm trying to... They're having some problems. Again, things that just feel a little unfinished. A wizened tree. Yeah, let's chop it down. Okay, doesn't seem to have had too much of an effect. It's gonna crash into absolutely everything in this room. So the further you get from the cities, the more common lumber becomes, huh? I mean, that makes sense. We got a haunting vision. Ah, yes, the thing where the bar is full for a moment. Ghoul Watch is nearby, we're being told. Hey, what a surprise. Who could have foreseen this eventuality? Oh, I like that. I like that very much. A fortress citadel bristling with spikes and cannons, heaving with the living and the dead. In Ghoul Watch, the dead not only walk, but run. For office, get it? So that's maybe like a little bit outside the usual tone of the game. It's fine. We are going to drop off our passenger, obviously. And then we're going to pick up a new passenger, I assume. A car chart bound for the City of Angels. Okay, easy enough. A ghoul visits you in the night. It whimpers and beckons. It wants you to follow. The ghoul leads you to a tower in one of Ghoul Watch's quieter districts. In the main hall, an ancient banquet has been laid out and forgotten. Cobwebbed skeletons sit at the chairs, skulls slumped in plates of rot-blackened gristle. At the head of the table sits the silent minister herself, on a throne of ossified ectoplasm. It is a hideously strange chair, a lump of twisting dark wax, a screaming face visible in every knot and whirl. Yo, I am very into the aesthetic around here. The ghost bows, then rises to the ceiling to join a swarm of its whispering fellows. The minister turns her face to you. Her eyes are empty sockets, her fingernails hooked in yellow, her mouth a badly stitched wound. She gestures for you to speak. So, do these look like any different... That'd give us ghost dice. We've never seen that before. If we sell one of our hideous revelations, we get 400 guineas and one deiform scab matter. You receive a primordial oddity. Interesting. They'll give us a fetch mirror for... This is really... I'm going to take this, because I don't know what deiform scab matter is, but it seems like it must be a big deal. And when we eventually need one for something, I'd like to have one. I think we have a bunch of hideous revelations at this point. Where would I even... Boy, where would I even see that information? Because that's not a thing that goes in our... Here we go. Stories and experiences is what we want. We got some... We've never had a Bleak Fable before, I don't think, so I guess it was good to pick that up. Horrifying Ordeals. We only have 2, and you know what? I think we need them both. Where's my log? Here we go. No, sorry. Hideous Revelations are the things we need 2 of. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Hideous Revelations. Wait, do we not have any? Maybe the Hideous Revelations are not in my Stories and Experiences area, because we definitely have some. Boy, I thought we had some. Maybe I'm wrong. No, here we are, 2. Okay, yeah, we need them both, so... We'll just remember that this is where you get that thing, in case we need to get that thing later. We'll leave. It is difficult to turn our back on her, because of the things we suspect she might do to it. Alright, let's gather some news. Ghoul Watch is a constant buzz of gossip and intrigue. You can't cross the street without tripping over a story. It's not a bad place for a reporter to be. The Carrion Minister has been embroiled in another bizarre scandal. Concerns for the Mirror Minister are growing, although longer absences have been recorded. Anticipation for the election is reaching a fever pitch. Huh. This place is very election-themed. Let's wander the streets a little bit. The city teems. Even in a ghoul's lifetime, there's too much to see and do. Your crew insist on treating you. They take you out for dinner to Necrofest, a famous restaurant in the upper districts. I mean, it sounds like a blast. The meat here grasps at a semblance of life. Bacon wriggles from your plate across the table. A suckling pig bites through its apple and bowls over 2 waiters in an attempt to escape, which is that's a fun story for later, apparently. These are all just petty occult tricks to amuse tourists, of course, but they work. That is kind of like, It's kind of a weird idea of like the undead trying to give the living a little bit of the feeling of what eating as an undead person is like, right? Like the idea of food that lives, and I don't know. That's kind of interesting. Obviously, I know a lot of our food lives at various points during its during the cycle. Let's try to preach Angle Crab. Does anybody anywhere care about Angle Crab? Nope. The Ghoul Watch crowd seem distinctly unimpressed. Every day they see dozens of preachers like you, from dozens of religions, and they've built up a tolerance. Well, what else could we expect? So, we can inspect our dubious trinket. A moment's careful inspection and a bit of luck are all that's required. Okay, let's try it. With great disappointment, you realize that the trinket is just a piece of cheap gimcrackery. Gimcracker? I'm gonna guess gimcrackery, but also I'm gonna tab out and look that word up before. I mean, it's pretty clear what it means from context, but I've never seen it. I'm assuming that this is a little archaic. Yeah, cheap, showy, useless trifles. It is gimcrackery. Huh. Well, that's a fun one. It's a bunch of rubbish is what it is. Okay, let's just leave then. It looks like we don't really have much else to do here. We could repair our hull, I suppose. We should probably do that. And then, do they sell fuel by any chance? They do. Oh, they sell it at a good price, too. $14.60 for hull strength 40 plus reduced sanity lost and resistance to occult weaponry. Interesting. I think I'm gonna stick with our slightly better armor. Our armor is 60 hull, right? But that's definitely a neat thing. Warding iron, slightly cheaper here than it was in other places. In the Gibbeters corner, we can buy a Hand of Glory. The Gibbeters have entire grisly necklaces of hands. Some have hands on sticks, which they take great pleasure in waving in your face. Weird. Don't do that. High damage, low accuracy weapon, and lumber. And then here at the Treats of Torments, we could sell our memory box if we put something in it. I'm just going to buy a bunch of fuel. Because we have, you know what, I'm going to buy a bunch of fuel. We're going to go to 20. Because we have some places down south that we'd like to go, right? I think we need to go to Carapace. So, yeah. Let's save the game and leave the city, shall we? I made the foolish mistake of covering up all of my important information on the other monitor with that dictionary.com window. Okay. Mists and phantoms lurk west of here. There's no reason to go west, probably. We do need to end up in this area, so we probably want to, like, go south, hit Carapace, and then come back up. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll swing through Bodak's Gaze, I guess. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll be able to actually succeed at the check there. Hey, that's a much more modern-looking ship than we've ever seen before, I think. Not the enemy, obviously, but that wrecked one over there. I'm assuming there are some things that you only see in some parts of the house, like the trees and stuff that you never see near the cities. I'm a little curious about that train, but let's not get into any combat we don't have to. We'll have plenty of opportunities, right? Let's gaze into the pure water and give ourselves a haunting vision. Hey, that's a thing for free. I love a free thing. So how much more south? Just like a couple screens. I want to come at this in a pretty long roundabout way, so that we have plenty of time for our plenty of opportunity for our navigator to tell us about new places. Alright, even more haunting vision. Probably the same haunting vision. Even more instances of the same haunting vision. Alright, I think this is the right road. Nope, never mind. I'm going to go south one more time. It does pretty much just look like a normal house out here. It's not as different as the southern areas with, like, the forest wall. I wonder how many more regions there are like that. How many more, like, sort of broad biomes. Because even within the area that is sort of described by the paths we have already driven, there's still a lot of rooms left unexplored. We haven't seen all that much. Wait, did I want to go south? I don't know, getting all distracted. I'm thinking about other things instead of driving the train. Also, man, wells, all of a sudden wells seem like they're much rarer than I remember them being. I feel like we were seeing them all the time when we didn't want to pick anything up from them. Okay, apparently ran into an invisible house. You know, nothing had broken in a while. It was, I guess it was about time. Forsaken Priests. Yeah, I'll trade a thrilling yarn for map information. The Library of Unfinished Books. Okay, I'm curious about that. Tell me about this library. Wait, where is Library of Unfinished Books? Because it doesn't look like we have any new locations on our map. Everything that all the white squares are in places that we've already been. Yeah, that's Vex, that's Twin Flower, that's Bodok's Gaze. Maybe it's like... Okay, that's not what I wanted. Maybe it's like way out to one of the sides. I wish I could zoom out of the map further, or that there was any kind of like indication of what direction a thing might be in. Alright, I was like, well, maybe it hasn't actually drawn it on the map yet. But no, it looks like they just didn't actually give us any new information. Or, again, they gave us information that's so far out to one of the sides that we... Aha! Well, that's... Okay, that's not the thing I was thinking of, but that's something that matters too. Yeah, the game needs to be way better about communicating information. There we go. Information that's not currently on your map. Alright, so we'll just go east a couple of times. We will go out to that library. I'm very excited about a big library. It's going to be a minute, though. You know, we'll get there eventually. Oof, man, it's pretty early in the morning right now, and definitely Saturday rather than Friday when these episodes were supposed to be going up. But man, it's already so hot. God, I hate summer. Let's try this again. One of these times we're going to get it, right? And our esoterica does keep improving. Oh, hey, we did the thing. After a full day of painstaking notation and poring over books of ciphers, you conclude that Bodok's Gaze is definitely trying to communicate. The rhythm of its blinking is too formulaic. The same few patterns crop up again and again. But it's a complex code. It will require great effort to decipher, and you're not even halfway there. You might have to revisit this. So far you've ruled out some ciphers and have several vague and contradictory theories. Well, it feels like we could just stay here and work on that, but apparently not. The game is telling us otherwise. Alright, well then. You know, that was something. I'll save. I'll save for that. Alright, we have a lot of south to do here. So I don't even remember what it is that we're supposed to be doing in Carapace. I just remember that we had... that somebody asked us to go there for some reason. Was it the paper? Where's the paper want us to go? I don't remember. We've already picked a route. We're sort of bound in to just following this route and going to all of the little dots of civilization that we see out here. Damn it. The steering could use work. The turn radius on this train is garbage. So we're pretty much just going southeast, right? Yeah, see, like here we've hit an area where the walls have a different pattern. The whole aesthetic is different. I'm wondering how many of these there are. Movement in the shadows. Hey, what a surprise. Eyes gleam and then retreat. At some point you would think you'd stop even making note of such things. Just like the same thing happening over and over and over and over again. Leave me alone, giant wasp. We're going to stop and grab this tree, even though it's probably going to get us caught by the wasp. Nope, we were able to get started again pretty quickly there. Unfortunately, that has thrown me off a little bit. In fact, yeah, we missed Gossamer Smile entirely. Well, fixable. Okay, another indecipherable tome. I'll be the judge of that. How many apprehensions? We probably have enough apprehensions that I could be leveling up some crew. Maybe just like driving those esoterica values up. Alright, back to the carnival wastes. Let's try to make it to the city. We did not do a good job. We did gain a horrifying ordeal for our troubles. Rusted amusements creak and sigh. You strayed from the road, somehow. A hairy leg the size of a tree trunk rises slowly from behind a carousel. The spider drags itself on top of the shuddering merry-go-round. Flakes of rust fall like snow, and we just run like hell. It lumbers toward you, a clattering thing from a nightmare. Your engine roars into motion and you scuttle away, leaving it far behind, waving its forelegs at you uselessly. A terrifying encounter, but fortunately not a close one. Let's gather some news here, trade our news for their news. A new spider rider has pledged their oath. More weave and weft has been added to the library. Another section of roller coaster has appeared in the wasteland, and maps are being updated accordingly. That's actually like a... I didn't realize that was what was going on. I thought this was a carnival that had just like been here and been overtaken. The idea that new bits of carnival are appearing around it, like it's slowly growing outward like a fungus, is actually super cool and creepy. Alright, let's curry some favor. We have some favor, let's use it to do a thing. Angel wine, guineas, or... So this is effectively like 50 guineas. Is that a better... What do they charge us for angel wine normally? We need to get some fancy angel wine. I don't think we need the normal stuff. I might just take money? I guess. Let's just take some money. Okay, we don't have enough favor to do it again. Let us preach the word of Angle Crab? Hey, what a surprise. Same result as last time. Who would have thought? Alright, we'll explore the carnival wastes. You discover the wreck of a kinetopede draped in thick webbing. The husks of the crew are discarded outside in neat rows. Yeah, so there's definitely big scary spiders here, but like we gotta scavenge, right? You find several crates of toad skin and color dust in the cargo. Smugglers, perhaps. There's a chest of guineas in the captain's cabin. But the true treasure is in the record-keeper's quarters. The poor fellow kept a diary, and detailed the spider attack in grisly detail as it was happening. What? The final page, of course, ends mid-sentence in a splash of blood. Wait, what? Like, the kinetopede got attacked, and the dude, like, ran to his room and started furiously writing about what the spiders were doing? That doesn't... I don't know, man. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. Okay, let's rest and recover. It's not too bad to do it here. You don't get a lot of sanity back, but it's also not very expensive. And do we want to trade any of our stories off? I mean, we're not desperate for cash. I would like to pick up that golem cannon at some point, but as I remember, that wasn't too expensive. I'm not going to worry about this for right now. Let's hold on to the stories for the moment. We might need them for other things. And I guess we're good to just go? We don't really need any of this stuff. Yeah. Alright, so we are headed south, right? Yeah. Through Penitent's Bluff to Carapace, where we are supposed to delve beneath it for whatever reason, and then we'll figure stuff out from there. West. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't remember Penitent's Bluff at all. Alright, I'm gonna get us caught here, probably, but I want the tree. Aha! Perfect piloting. My incredible piloting skills save us once more. For real though, I don't like the southern part of the house at all. It's all slaves and wasps down here. It's just a bad time. I want to live in Ghoul Watch. Our character does kind of seem to have a thing for the undead. It wasn't really a trait that I planned as we were developing, but that's the most fun kind of character building. The stuff that just kind of happens to you when you realize a trait about the character rather than planning a trait about the character. At this rate, we really are going to run out of cargo capacity, though. Lumber is not light. Did we ever get to Athena? Oh yeah, we did. We did eventually go to Athena. I couldn't remember if we had been back since the time that we went out there and died and had to reload an earlier save. Tell me it's a well. Yay, okay. Drop the bucket, bottled darkness. Awesome. Have we seen these little flowers before? These look new. They look a little don't starve to me. Okay, somehow I missed Penitent's Bluff entirely. Well, let's fix that. Oh. I'm a little surprised that it remembered that I was going backwards there. I kind of expected that we would come out of the transition facing forward. Because why would it carry that information from screen to screen, right? They caught me off guard a little bit. Alright, what can we do here? We can gather news. Of course, that's important. Not really so much for fighting in the arena, but I'll watch a fight. So a half-naked man with a humbling physique and a scarred woman in chainmail with a narrow sword. Also, I remember, we are not being told that the dude has a sword, but he totally does. I'm gonna make a bet on the scarred woman. Again, I know that last time the dude won, and this is not really a sensible way to do it, but I feel like, what are the odds he would win again, right? Ringing steel, a flash of metal, and the gladiators withdraw once more, but the young man is in obvious trouble. His bare chest has acquired a great diagonal slice, and after a minute or so he slumps over. Not dead, but close to it. He is carried away on a stretcher, fate unknown. And we get paid. Not like a huge amount of money, but it's fine. Alright, let's go ahead and recover sanity. You do lose a lot of sanity just like traveling around, right? Okay, I guess that's all there is to do here. South to the city still sinking. Is this pretty much just... Yeah, we could go directly southwest this time. I know that's what I also thought last time, but this time I bothered to check the map. Could be a handy thing to do when you're trying to navigate. Speaking of navigation, does it seem like I crash into stuff a lot more lately? I'm not really sure what's up with that. At some point I forgot how to drive the train. Alright, no books for us. I mean, it would be best to bring the lumber back home and sell it, and then buy fuel with the proceeds, right? Better than actually burning the lumber. And as long as we have the cargo space, I guess that's what we will endeavor to do. Alright, home again. Let's gather some news. A sinkhole has opened on Old Bone Avenue. Baroness Sorrow claims to have invented a new method of preserving food. A batch of thralls bound for Scornvaunt have escaped within Carapace city limits. Good for them. Let's go ahead and repair the hull, because it's cheap to do it here. We'll preach the word of Angle Crab. Never lands here, but it's worth trying. I'm assuming that it's not a random roll, but that it's, certain places. I'm assuming that it is the same result in each place each time. Maybe that's not fair. Let's visit the Carmine Palace, because we do have some favor, and we're getting better at this court nonsense. Alright, so even more favor. Let us... We could just flatter her. I could give her one of my thrilling yarns. I'm going to do this. We'll impress her with stories of our adventures. She listens with rapt interest. Oh, do go into all the gory details, she urges. Okay, that's a good thing. Why do we even need her favor? I was like, yay, we got more favor, but I don't... Do we need it to delve? Does it work the same way here as it does in the Founder? Okay, let's go back up on sanity, because if we have to delve, and it looks like we have a quest that is about delving, we certainly want to go in with as much sanity as possible. Why do we have a quest about delving? And we gotta get all those wines. I remember that. Travel to Phobator Quinn. Travel to the City of Bridges with Char. That's true, we do need to do that. Is it just that we have delved before, and so we're always going to have a mark that we should come back and continue? I guess so. Yeah, let's go for it. I don't know if we're going to be able to actually pass the checks. I think our skills are a little bit better since the last time we were here. Alright, head deeper. A hole in the street leads down to the underbelly's deepest layer. Oh, are we right at the end? The buildings are little more than stone hunts. The floor is littered with flint arrowheads. Crashing footsteps up ahead, a creaking roar. Something approaches. It is implausible that we could hide from it, and yet we attempted. We are probably not going to be able to fight the bramble tree normally, but we did bring a flare this time. The flare lodges between its branches and explodes in white-hot phosphorence. Phosphorence? Huh. The bramble tree lurches away, charred and screaming. Mud squelches underfoot. It is mostly swamp down here. Something is definitely following you. A human silhouette flitting between shadows in the distance. Is that a face staring from the alley? A pair of eyes peering over the rooftop? You pass beneath toadstools taller than towers. A flurry of bats explode from under one of the caps and spiral shrieking away. Church bells are tolling in the sunken city. Joachim Pin clutches at his head, sinking to the floor. It signals our doom, he insists. Ah yes, we died down here long ago, right. Here, buddy, get real drunk. Joachim Pin knocks back half the bottle and coughs. Feeling better now, he says sheepishly, and we head deeper. There, in the distance, a thin wisp of smoke, an orange glimmer. Could there be people living down here? And hey, look at that, we did it. We finished the underbelly. See, if you come prepared, you don't even have to have good skills. The tribe are pale as ghosts, their eyes milky white. They surround you and make strange clucking noises with their mouths. One of them pokes you with a stick. This one does not speak the old tongue. A wizened old man stumps forward, speaking your language haltingly. Why come down here? Let's not tell them about the gods. Let's say I was curious. Yeah, I was curious. The old man shakes his head and spits. You sound like the tall men, he growls. But we will forgive your trespass. Sit. Eat with us. Tell us about the above. Yeah, I have a question first, though. The tall men? Tall men were on our old world, says the elder. They lived only to conquer. They wanted to drain our Mother Swamp so they could build their golden cities. But Mother Swamp was too big to be drained. Big as all their lands together. So they used sorcery, banished the swamp with magic. It ended up here. If a few tribes banish too, who cares? Only tribes. He sighs. So how long have you been down here, then? Since the Great Exile. That doesn't tell me anything. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to demand a tribute. I am a guest in their weird swamp home. We'll sit and eat with them. The tribe gather around their fire and dance and sing. You are fed mushroom gruel and mushroom tea. They sing of the old world and the old ways in their clicking old tongue. They sing of the beetle tribe, of Mother Swamp, of brave raids against the tall men. They whisper stories of a civil war and the great sacrilege that drove them underground. Once the evening comes to an end, the elder offers you a gift, a gold-etched thigh bone, which he rests at your feet. Do not tell the blasphemers above of our existence, he asks gravely. They will hunt us. We remind them of what they have forgotten. Oh hey, we got an occult relic and a unique experience. Those are both pretty important. And then they guide you back to the upper layers, and we do not demand further tribute. I wonder if we'll be able to go back down there and visit them, now that we know how to get down there. This seems like a fine time to rest a little bit. And hey, man, that was, like, very successful. We got some good value on that. Is there anything else that we want around here? Not really. We probably don't need to buy more fuel, but I'm going to go ahead and buy more fuel. I don't know when the next time we'll be able to do this is. And then I think it's time to leave, and we're going to save before we do so, of course. And south? Right? It's kind of southeast. Yeah, I guess we can swing through Glitterberg on the way there. So out to the east. It looks like we should actually go east a couple of squares and then go southeast from there. Oh, hold on. We have a chat. Pen Pusher. Oh, did he also want an occult relic? Okay, hold on. Let me look at my log. What else did we need it for? We will now be able to complete the Third Eye quest. So we could push another crew member quest along. Or... I guess that's it, really. That's all we need them for is crew member stuff. Or that one thing in Afina where we could sacrifice 3 relics. I think we'll go ahead and we'll do the Third Eye thing in the City of Keys. We'll advance us. I keep wanting to call him Spire. Is Spire the name of our 3-eyed crew member? I don't think so. But I don't want to... I want to do that one first, because that has us carrying other stuff around, and we can get rid of all that stuff. That said, I'm up for a little occultism. Wouldn't mind pushing my esoterica even higher. We have a lot of apprehensions. There we go. Okay, sorry, close this. Close this? Return. There we go. I don't know why that's got to be so difficult. So we're up to 57 esoterica. Okay, that's just not going to go away. They are not going to let me forget. Yeah, we're still carrying around a warding iron for the other thing, which is part of why I want to get that done. Alright, let's smash this up. We'll gain some sanity. It does seem like we're losing sanity more quickly these days, doesn't it? Alright, if we start heading straight diagonal from here, we should be cool. Man, if we could get one more bottled darkness, we can actually get a bunch of stuff done pretty soon. We just need to find one more well. I'm assuming we didn't have any other quest lines that were going to be advanced just by us having apprehensions. Because if we did, they would have fired already, right? We got a ton of apprehensions in real quick succession there, so... I guess I might need to update my notes, though. These are a little out of date. The problem is, I'm profoundly lazy. Bog Shadow is nearby, huh? Alright, let's hit Glitterberg first, because we're really close to it, and then we'll veer off and hit Bog Shadow, and from there to the library. Alright, I'm gonna grab us that tree. This might get us caught. And we actually want to go out the south door of this room, so... Fortunately, it looks like giant wasps don't have a very tight turning radius. And everyone knows they're afraid of frogs. There's no way he would have chased us there. Am I wrong about where we are? No. I mean, yes, but we're not off path. I thought this room was going to be the place. Alright, back to Glitterberg, which is, not, ideal. The city's a huge, hideous ornament, and its people are dying. Let's gather news. And then, volunteer to fight the plague again? When you arrive, you find the conditions abysmal, sick lion rows on the stone floor, and we just do our absolute best. Don't make much of a difference, which is completely belied by the next line. We totally do make a difference. What a wonderful thing we've done here. Okay, time to go. It's pretty straightforward stuff. And then they don't have anything, they just buy things. So, I guess the time has come to go west, to cities that aren't so afflicted. Although, really, we could just pick any direction for that. So, really, we want... I should have hit south. And then west from there. I wonder if your... I don't even remember what stat it is, but whatever stat it is that the Lightbearer gives you, I wonder if that's higher. I wonder if you routinely discover cities from further away. I don't feel like... And it's probably just an element of the way the game does its mechanical introduction, because this game had a pretty short pretty short and simple tutorial, whereas I feel like Sunless Skies was a little bit more thorough, especially with the character creation stuff. I feel like I had a much better handle on what my mechanics were doing in that game than I do here. Okay. I've already forgotten the name of the place that we're going. Bog Shadow, obviously. Reused art, how dare they? Alright, a cluster of Mycenae. It's very similar to the last cluster of Mycenae. Let's preach the word of Angle Crab. Okay, that's interesting. The Mycenae gather around you, swaying back and forth. They occasionally make odd spasmic motions, as though racked by silent laughter. One of them sinks slowly into the mud and vanishes. Huh. Am I sure that my god wasn't except I'm not 100% certain what to make of that. Let's visit this place's elder. The Wrinkle Guild elder greets you beside a roaring fire in the center of the village. It is surrounded by Mycenae lying on makeshift beds on the floor, their fibrous skin blackened in places as though by fire. Some of them have chunks taken out of them, like the bites of a wolf, great gouges that reveal their glistening vegetable matter insides. Stem rot, explains the elder grimly. It ravages us year by year, a harvest that takes more every time. We cannot afford to suffer this again. Please, traveler, it bows its red-capped head. Do you have anything that can help us? We can offer you gifts in return for your aid. I wish I did. I mean, we can have Char look at them, but Char's not so good with like things that don't involve fire, and it seems like Char's talents would be counterproductive here. Yeah, no idea about Mycenae biology. Okay, well, we'll come back with some stuff. Hopefully. I will try to remember to come back with some stuff. Alright, so we are just going southeast from here? Yeah, and it's quite a ways. Alright, who's ready for a really, really long road trip? I'm glad we went up to 20 fuel. Although I guess we don't have to be, like, terribly concerned, because we do have an awful lot of lumber in the hold as well. I wonder if the wasps even have guns mounted on them. Because, like, where would you put a gun? You would think that if you were just to mount, like, a missile launcher on the side of a wasp, that it would really compromise its ability to fly places. Not necessarily, like, all the time, but certainly when you fire it. Wait, where are we at on... Sorry, not this. C is for cargo. Okay, we are exactly capped out. Well, if we encounter stuff that we want to pick up, we can certainly just burn some lumber. There's probably nothing in our hold that is a worse cargo space to cash conversion than lumber. That thing that golem gun that we saw, I was just thinking of stuff that's real heavy and seems to have no value. That golem gun we saw didn't actually require golems as ammo, did it? Like, does it require you to have a deactivated golem to use it? I don't think it said so in the description. But just in case, maybe we should be on the lookout for a deactivated golem to hold on to. Fortunately, as I remember it, they're pretty easy to stumble into completely accidentally. Oh, interesting. The door is locked. I wonder if we're going to be able to get to the library, actually. Because we do know that, you know, we were told this part of the house is pretty locked down. Ooh, it's going to be close. Okay. We had a little bit of slowdown there because I got too close to the edge, so I was worried for a moment. Misericord is nearby. Wow. Misericord is not nearby. What are you talking about? It's a very great distance away. We do need to go down there, though. I guess that's what this trip is going to be. We're going to be going all the way to the southern edge before we head back. Well, by the time we do get back, we'll have several thousand guineas worth of stories, probably. Tell me... Drop the bucket? Okay, excellent. We are going to have to burn some wood, though. Okay, that puts us at 95.50. Okay. Easy enough. Wait, now I've gotten all distracted. I was supposed to be going southeast. Yeah, so now that we have 3 bottled darkness, I don't know, there's stuff we could do with that. We'll worry about it when we get back to the cities, I guess. Glimpse of another world. The Panomicon is nearby. Do you actually mean nearby this time? Oh, you do. Well, isn't that a nice change of pace? Alright, let's turn around. We'll veer back up to that. Good old Arcane Codex. I don't think that we've heard of this settlement before, have we? The Panomicon? I am loath to guess what we might encounter. There's just no knowing. Alright, no fancy alcohol. I'm trying to remember. We've definitely seen Angel Wine 79 from like random merchants and stuff. Have we ever seen it for sale in a place as part of a shop? I don't think so. The Panomicon, a prison of some kind at a glance, though building it must have required absurd endeavor. There are 1,000,000 cells honeycombing the walls, stretching around you and over and far, far below you. In the center, at the end of a narrow bridge, is a tower. A ponderous searchlight sweeps from cell to cell. The bridge is retracted. You call across the abyss and receive no response. Well, okay, then I guess that's all we can do here. Presumably, they have to be expecting you, for you to get in. Pale shapes watch you behind the bars. Claws clutch at the iron. Screams and howls, oaths and catcalls, laughter and sobs. And my guess is not like the pleasant, happy kind of laughter. Alright, I think we've probably done all the driving around a scary house in the dark that we ought to do for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, on Monday, we will hit the very furthest reaches of the house, and I'm guessing, be kind of sad that we did. I just have a feeling that things are not going to get better as we go further south. And we'll see you then.